Good morning, everybody. Let me open us with a prayer. Start us out. I open the service with a prayer, and I open this prayer with what I know to be the most potent words I can speak. Thank you. And from that point, I continue by recognizing that there is only one God, one Father, Mother, Parent, Creator of the one life, known by many names, but still only one. And I know that that one life is my life now, and the life of all people, all animals, all nature. All of us here, all out there, all everywhere, are united as one family. Faithfully and lovingly from this place of knowing, we open our hearts and our minds to trust what we know is true of the God within us, today, tomorrow, eternally. And so it is. So it is. All right. Good morning, everyone. We welcome you to week 3 of Living Everyday Wonder. Are you still being brave? This is the week we're going to investigate Chapter 2, Science of Mind, how it works. And we have a wonderful speaker, Reverend Faith Woods, and I'm sure she's going to remind us that the way it works for us is through us. As is my custom, at 10 a.m. every morning on Sunday morning, I light the God candle early, and it welcomes you as you get here, coming from the prayers that I say with it every Sunday. So I just want you to know that that's why it's shining bright when you get here, to be the welcome mat for you today. And welcome you we do, no matter what denomination you come from, what you were taught as a child, even if this is your first faith experience, we welcome all paths to the divine. And the important thing for you to remember is that you are welcome here. And now we move to our mission and vision statement. And let's say this together. To teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind and celebrating all paths to God. And our new vision statement, a world that honors and respects all people. Yes. All right, now let's get this party started with Karen Drucker. I start my day.
Start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. Wanna start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. I feel it, peace, 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 peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I choose joy, joy, joy. I feel it, joy, joy, joy. Every day it's joy, joy, joy. I'm choosing joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that.
Okay, I am present with what is. I open to possibilities. Welcome now your practitioner of the week, Vicki Jeter, for our reading and meditation.
Good morning. And it is my pleasure to tell you that our reading and meditation comes from the book Be Here Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I just want to tell you all that these books are now on Audible, both Be Here Now and Practicing Be Here Now. And they are written and read by Eckhart Tolle. He has a lovely, lovely voice. So if you would like to gift yourself with more of what is here, go to Audible. It's a fabulous thing. And he says, I love the Buddha's simple definition of enlightenment as the end of suffering. There's nothing superhuman in that, is there? Of course, as a definition, it isn't complete. It only tells you what enlightenment is not, no suffering. But what's left when there is no suffering? The Buddha is silent on that. His silence implies that you have to find out for yourself. Enlightenment is your natural state of felt oneness with being. It is your connection to that which is indestructible and immeasurable. Paradoxically, it is essentially you, and yet infinitely greater than you. Being is the eternal, ever-present one life, beyond the myriad of forms of life that are subject to the experience of life and death. Being is the indestructible and immeasurable essence that is universal, but it is also every form as its innermost, invisible, indestructible essence. This means that it is accessible to you now, in each unfolding now moment, as your own deepest self, your true nature. But don't seek to grasp it with your mind. Don't try to understand it. You can know it only when the mind is still. When you are present, when your attention is fully and intensely in the now, being can be felt, but it can never be understood mentally. To regain the awareness of being and to be able to be in that state of feeling realization is enlightenment. Now let's take a breath and stretch and let that sink in. And find your comfortable place for our meditation. Our meditation this morning is using the power of now as our focal point. So I'm going to be inviting you to practice a living meditation in just allowing your natural thoughts and feelings. And then when we catch them, coming back and bringing ourselves into this quiescent state of being just in the now together. To begin, a poem by our beloved Rumi. The guest house. This human being is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all the joy, all the anxiety, all the wonder, all the questions. Welcome and entertain them. Even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of all its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. They may be clearing you out for some great new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from the beyond. With all in mind, let us say, may you be happy and healthy. May you be abundant. May you be safe and free. May you live with ease and grace. Just imagine offering that to your thoughts and feelings now, to the visitors into your humanness. Breathe and allow the flow. Take a moment to let your thoughts and feelings go where they would choose. Discover your visitors this morning. Are some from the past? Are some from yesterday? Maybe some are from the dreams you had last night. And perhaps you're considering the future, wondering about whether it will snow. Just take a moment in stillness and notice your visitors, your thoughts and feelings. And then as you catch them, as you notice who and what they are, practice bringing them back to now. right here and right now, in this shared space of communion in quiet. And we breathe into being one more time. Let your thoughts and feelings roll. Notice where they take you, honoring each one, the thought and the feeling that goes with it. Recognizing that as the director, you can bring your attention back to right here and right now. And from that space, may you be happy and healthy. May you be abundant. May you be safe and free. May you live in ease and grace. Now, to close the meditation this morning, a prayer that was offered by a fellow ministerial student, Laura Stewart. For this day, I welcome the inner knowing that informs my mind and heart of what is mine to do. I release my notions of what the result is supposed to look like, and instead, I have faith and courage that each step I am guided to take will lead to deeper and more expansive ways of personal expression. For this and so much more, I am grateful, and I let it flow. And so we let it be, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Vicki. Thank you. Well, it is my great pleasure this morning to introduce. Oh, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. I always want to skip this special music song. Anyway, it is When You Believe by Eddie Watkins Jr. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Woo. Okay, so change your thinking, change your life when you believe. Now it's time for me to introduce to you Reverend Faith Woods from the Celebration Center of Spiritual Living in Falls Church, Virginia. Reverend Faith comes to us with a plethora of experience to share. She came to Science of Mind in 1993, became a practitioner in 1997, and just 10 years later became a minister. She had a weekly study group in Stafford, Virginia for seven years and started another in Charlottesville and was senior minister at the Celebration Center in Falls Church. She is currently retired from pulpit ministry, but is one of my mentors as your new spiritual director. And I am so grateful to have people like Reverend Faith to help me carry this center along with you into the future. She is the Region 10 support coordinator for ministers and spiritual directors. And that's where I got to know her, and I wanted you to know her and Reverend Julie Lobato, who will be helping me. You'll meet Reverend Julie in April. I also want to mention that while Reverend Faith was born and raised in Ohio, she attended Union College in Barbersville, Kentucky. And so that's just a 3-hour southeast drive from Louisville. So she's kind of like a homegirl. So that's a good thing. And currently, though, she is still active as a wife and a mother and a grandma, and she's a co-facilitator, the Power of 8 group at Celebration Center. So we are so lucky to have you with us today. Welcome. You're never going to meet a more friendly, beautiful group than this. So welcome, Reverend Faith.
Thank you. Thank you, Pat. That was, it's always amazing to hear words about yourself that you don't always hear every day. I'm so happy to be here with you guys and look forward to this brief time together. When I looked at the topics that were on the table this morning, I saw, I'm going to take one, okay, I was distracted one moment. I saw the topics of chapter 2 in the Science of Mind book saying the way it works. And then the CSL topic of embrace the now. And I thought, how synchronistic is that? Because it works in the now. Spirit always works in the now. Time is our made up thing for this earth plane. And so if we can remember that really there's only this moment and this moment and this moment, as Vicki was so kindly already told us about, this is how it works. And I want to tell you that when I first came to Science of Mind and I began to hear people referring to what I always heard of as God in my Christian upbringing, as it, I found it a bit disturbing because it didn't seem respectful. And yet, as I continued, I found words like spirit became my word for God, because by the time I found Science of Mind, God had almost become a 4-letter word for me. And so I had to choose something different in order to embrace the idea of the divine, the idea that love is on the field all the time, the idea that God is all there is, which includes me and includes you. So no matter who I'm looking at, what I'm looking at, what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, it always goes back to the main idea that there is only one presence, one life, one divine creative force in this world, energy. So I also remember being very, very excited about learning these different terms and feeling good and supported in the religion of Science of Mind, which we don't claim we're a religion, we're a philosophy. Science of Mind and Spirit is a philosophy created by Ernest Holmes. So what I want you to know as we continue this morning, I'd like to be very clear on 3 things that I really believe. There's more, but I'm going to stick to 3 here. As long as we are on this planet, we are serving a purpose. We are serving a purpose. It's not about us finding our purpose. We are doing it, I believe. And we might as well just relax into that and know we're doing it and do it in the best way we can. Number 2, we're invited to do our work. We can shrink away from it. We can make ourselves small, but we're always invited to be out doing our work in the world, to be that space of love and compassion and kindness in the world. And number 3, there's always more to learn. There is always more to learn. I will never know it all. And I personally get very, very excited about learning. And I'm going to invite you to get on that train of learning something new, because there is so much out there. You know, I kind of used to not be as interested in documentaries, but now I'll tell you, there's so much that scientists are finding out, and birds and animals. I just find it very fascinating that life is never ending and always going forward. So even as I have studied and learned, and I have a title, and I'm ordained, and I can do this and represent Centers for Spiritual Living, I have a lot to learn yet. And because of that, you become my teacher as well. So I'm not here standing before you to tell you I know it all in any way, shape, or form. I expect you to be able to look at you and learn something as well, because together, it's together that we grow. And the point is, I think too, that we begin to live our lives so that others become curious and in that state of wonder and awe and go, how did they do that? How does she do that? How does he do that? And that's what happened when Jesus was walking the planet. When Jesus was walking the planet, he said, all that I do, I'm paraphrasing from John 14, all that I do, you can do, and more. He never said, I am the only one, and you should pay attention here. And we get caught up sometimes in believing we're not good enough because we can't turn water into wine. We think we're not good enough because we haven't seen the burning bush. We don't have that miracle in our life. And I think we really get caught up in wanting someone else's miracle. Oh my gosh, Susie looked up and saw the heavens open and saw this divine light come down. Well, that's her experience. And we should applaud that. Yes, yes, yay for Susie. You know, John goes fishing and has a magical experience, and everyone wants to get out of the fishing hole and have that same experience. It's about what we are doing and how we can see it, not others. So applaud and celebrate the mysteries and the miracles that happen in this world, and be careful because you don't want to miss yours. You want to be able to see your miracle happening each day. I mean, just the synchronicity of these 2 topics coming together for me was a little, ooh, that's fun. That's nice. That's almost miraculous. Who put those together? Well, Spirit put them together. I didn't put them together. You know, someone said, let's do this, and it happened. So people do their work in wonderful ways. Jesus was a teacher, but he also did his work first. He studied, he learned, and then he began living his life that way. He did his practices. He prayed. There are many examples in the Bible of where he prayed. So we know that that was a ritual for him. He bore witness to life itself, and he taught others. He took this teaching to the masses, the teachings that had been secret. And he taught that God was love. That's the part I love about, the New Testament teachings, is God is love. Jesus was courageous and kind. He was compassionate. He helped people down to the healing waters. He ate with the tax collectors and visited among people who were ill and sick. He did not shy away from any obligations in this world. And he gave himself to those around him, and he honored all peoples and all ages of peoples. You know, his teachings the disciples took his teachings very seriously. And as he was talking to the people, you know, there were children around. And do you know what children do? They run and they play, and they sometimes get loud, and sometimes you can't hear what's happening. So the disciples suggested to Jesus that maybe the parents should take the children home. Maybe they shouldn't bring them here. And Jesus went, no, no, no. Bring them on. Bring them here. They are containers of joy. They are curious and alive, and they want to know what's happening in this world. Bring them here. Let us learn from them. We want to learn from everyone all the time. You know, and back in the day, when Ernest Holmes became curious, he gave himself to people around him too. And people became curious and wanted to know more about this teaching, which includes the ancient wisdoms of the world. He synthesized these wisdoms and wrote them down so that you and I could have a philosophy to learn teachings. And he also spoke to people of all kinds. He wasn't saying, I'm only going to talk to this group or that group. He talked to everyone, anyone who would listen. And he too stood up for what he believed. So the very life we live can be the testament of who we are, and it can invite others to be curious and to find out more about themselves. I want to tell you a story about a Hasidic rabbi who was on his way to teach a village about the things that he knew, and he was very well known. And he was making his way to the village. All the people were greatly preparing, wondering, what am I going to ask this famous rabbi? What questions do I need to know? What answers do I need to get? What do I need? What am I seeking? And every man and woman gathered their children together around tables, and they got their questions together. Finally, the day came, and the rabbi walked into this huge room with all these people. And after the initial welcoming, where everyone was eagerly anticipating, he stood up and he glanced around the room, and he began to hum a little tune. And he hummed a little tune, and pretty soon people just caught on to these notes in this little tune and began humming along with him. And therefore the hum was going out through the room. And as that happened, the rabbi began to throw up an arm and turn his body a little bit. And he would throw up another arm and he would turn his body, and then he began to step out. And he stepped a little bit, and he was dancing. And what happens when people get up and dance? When someone starts dancing, the rest of the people, one by one, began dancing with him. And pretty soon, the room was dancing. So that everyone was dancing, and one person and another was doing their thing. And something happened. There was a healing that happened in that room. There was something very sacred and very holy that happened, and each and every person was filled with glee. They were filled with ecstasy and joy. And as they danced and they danced and they danced, and the night went on, and then the rabbi slowly brought them down and had them sit down. He looked into their eyes and into their faces around the room. And he said, I see I've answered all of your questions. and he left the room. And that book is from, or that story is from the book, The American Shaman. The rabbi's life, the way he presented himself was a healing in and of itself. And we all have the ability to become healing agents in this world just by allowing people to be who they are sometimes. Not even say anything, just to be and respect who they are. I loved the reading today, The Rumi Guest House, because that is so true. That if we can invite the feelings in and examine them and let them go, it doesn't say keep them there. If you notice, the reading never said stay there, keep them in your house. Let them go, let them pass through. But acknowledge that sorrow, acknowledge the grief, acknowledge the sadness, whatever it is. And sometimes we want to do things. This is the time of year when people have made resolutions. How many of you have made resolutions? Are you resolution makers? I never have been so much, but I do have intentions more than resolutions. So there's a little story about minding ourselves. There was a little girl who was running down a sidewalk and she tripped and fell and hurt her knee. And it was hurt very badly. And you know how we grab things to us when they hurt. So she's sitting there with her knee drawn up to her chest and grimacing. And a gentleman walks by and sees her and says, "Oh, that looks like it really hurts." And she goes, yes, it really hurts." And he says, "I'm surprised that you're not crying." And she said, "Well, I told myself I wouldn't cry. And now I am minding myself." So I'm going to invite you this year, if you've made resolutions, if you have something in mind that you want to do and you think about it, how about remembering to mind yourself and take that task on, or actually figure out how to do it? I know one of my goals is to walk a bit more. You know, when it's a beautiful day, it's easy for me to go out and walk. And if it's not a beautiful day, sometimes I can really easily skip that. I won't even get on the treadmill, you know, because I want to be outside. If I mind myself and say it's the exercise that's important, how do I get to that? How do I get myself out of the house? Let's dissect it a little bit and figure it out. If you want to know more about some of that, there's a wonderful book called Atomic Habits by James Clear, who says, break down that goal and just do what's right here first. It will lead you there. Sometimes in my classes, I ask this question, in the morning when you wake up and you're going through your day, when is the first time you remember God is in your life, Spirit is in your life, or you are God, you are Spirit in action? When do you think of that? Do you have a morning practice that reminds you to be grateful first thing in the morning? Or an evening practice when you lay down that reminds you to be grateful? Gratitude is always a great thing, but I realized one day that I really open my eyes now and I go, thank you, Spirit. I mean, it's time I'm grateful to be alive, you know, and it's time that I'm grateful for the day that's about to unfold, which is going to be different than yesterday. I don't know how. And it's time to be grateful for the colors that I see and being in this body, and still remember that I'm not this. This is a container. It's a container for my soul, which is so much bigger than that, because I think our souls don't really fit in our bodies, and that's why we walk into a room and we feel the energy of the room. We feel other people when we get close to them before we're actually touching them. There's a Zen teacher, Charlotte Joko Beck, who says joy is exactly what's happening. She doesn't put any parameters on it. It's what's happening. Joy is happening here, now, minus our opinion of it. What do you think of that? We don't think it may be joyful, but joy is what's happening. It just reminds me that there's something behind what's happening that's leading me to something new, to be curious, to be an observer. Instead of making up stories about how things could be, I'm in this story and I'm feeling this. Let's examine it just a little bit. So appreciation and wonder, the awareness of wonder in our lives. Be like that little child. Be like that little child that is curious and willing to learn all the time, willing to play, willing to play. Make it play instead of work. So we have an opportunity to turn towards our experiences and challenges or turn away from them, to be loving and kind to ourselves and others, or to stay in a place that feels worse than that to me, to stay in a place of being grouchy, of being dissatisfied. There's always an opportunity to shift and to change. Mary O'Malley, who's a writer, puts two words together and talks about living in the moment and calling it noticing. But she puts the word K-N-O-W with the T-I-C-I-N-G, know to sing. So I'm not just looking at something and seeing how I usually perceive it. I am getting into it and beginning to know it, to understand it. And I really like that idea. When I read about it, I thought, well, that right there in itself, those two words, know to sing, K-N-O-W, allows me to perhaps shift in some of my observations. Because we know when we change the way we look at things, what we look at changes also. If I think that you're a grouch and I look at you like a grouch, that's probably what I'm going to get. If I think of you as with curiosity and go, well, I don't know why they're that way, but I bet there's times when they're not that way, that I leave an opening. I leave an opening of possibility that I can see you differently. So from Science of Mind, in the Science of Mind book, there's a section called The Great Awakening. It says, now is the time to get out of sleep. And that came from the book of Romans in the Bible, but it reminds me of Rumi's poem where he says, don't go back to sleep. So now is the time to awake from sleep. And then Rumi invites us to not go back to sleep. This whole thing is an awakening process for each and every one of us. A little bit here, a little bit there, and our eyes become open if we're willing. The universe always conspires for our highest good. No matter what the circumstances, if we can stay to that for my highest good, what can come of this that is good? Because there is one life, and that life is God's life, and that life is perfect. It is my life now. And you can find that little 4-line meditation in the back of the Living Science of Mind book on the last page. So I'm going to invite you. Ernest Holmes says, here and now we are surrounded by and immersed in an infinite good. How much of this infinite good is ours? All of it. All of it. Here and now we are surrounded and immersed in all good. It's all for us. So be present and open to possibilities as we go into prayer. I'm going to invite you to take a breath, to relax. And I loved it when someone said earlier, raise your arms and stretch a bit, because that's always a good way to allow more in. Allow more in. And so opening to that divine, opening to heavens, pouring down its good on us. We just simply know that there is this one mind and presence, and it is good. It is love. It is kindness and compassion. It is all of the things that we wish to have in our life and more. Because there is no way we can know all of it in our little mind. So we open our heart to allow the feeling in. We open our hearts to this good. We open our heart to more knowing, more understanding, more truth. Whatever it is that we are desiring, we open to that here and now. We open to possibilities. We become present with what is so it can be transformed in a healthy way. Present, here, now, love, joy, peace. It is ours. It is here. And I invite each and every one of us to open to that feeling, to that understanding, to go beyond our little brain that may say, no, I can't. I'm saying, yes, you can. So I put these words into a law and let them know, let them be. I let Spirit arrange them from my heart to your heart so that they make sense and become part of you. So releasing joyfully and thankfully, I simply say, and so it is.
Thank you so much, Reverend Faith. That was awesome. I love the synchronicity. And we just appreciate your presence with us today. And we're going to move now into our prosperity, our time of giving of our time, talents, and treasures. Your time is your presence, your talent is your being, and your treasures for our abundance affirmation and for your options for giving. Check into the chat as usual. And we have here our little offering baskets that we're energetically filling. And we just want you to know that every single one of you is received fully and completely and absolutely. Pat still goes to the post office box and Pat receives Giveify, and every single one of those is blessed and returned to you tenfold. So if you would now say with me our affirmation: abundance is the natural state of the universe. That is so short and sweet. I know I offered you to say it with me the first time too. We're going to say it again. Abundance is the natural state of the universe. Praise God and glory, hallelujah.
Okay.
And Pat's going to bless the offering for us. Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. One God, one life, one supply. Thank you for being the light within us that halos our talents, time, and treasure, and causes us to understand that the flow of all three from us is the same flow that circles back to us multiplied. We are grateful to be blessed in such ways, both as a center and individually. So I bless the gift and the giver, and I offer these words for the law that says only yes, and I release them there to become evident. And so it is.
And now we have our time of announcements for the week. First, we have our board meeting coming up on January 19th at 5 p.m. We would like everyone to know that you are welcome to join our board meeting. Just recently, within the past week or so, your board has been refreshed and renewed, and we have settled on our officers for the board, and we have a new board member that's come on, Miss Joan Durbin. Thank you, Joan. And if you would like to know more about that, if you'd like to be a part of what is moving forward for the board now, please come. It's the same link that you're on now. 5 p.m. And if you let us know in advance that you're going to be there, we would be happy to send you the agenda and the financial documents so that you can know in advance what we'll be talking about. And very excited about that. And so then our next announcement, yes, the Miss Reverend Dr. Alma Stevens is going to be our speaker next week. She was with us here this morning. I don't know, she may, sometimes she has to leave because she has other speaking engagements. She'll come and drop in with us. She was here this morning, and I don't know if she's here now, but we are looking forward. She is going to take up the third of the first week of January, which is the third chapter in the Science of Mind text. And I absolutely know that her message is going to be on a roll. So please join us for that. Let me see what's next. Oh, the first Wednesday connection. So in February, the first weekend of February, we will be having first Wednesday connection, 7 o'clock in the evening, and that will be facilitated by yours truly. But you all bring the vibrancy, you all bring the content. So come and be with me for our first Wednesday connection of the new year, and we will see what we do with that awesome space. And finally, of course, you are magnificent. So see if you can say with me, Reverend Faith was letting us know to practice opening and say to yourself, I am magnificent.
All right. Thank you, Vicki. Next up is our closing song, Amazing, by Michael Gott. You are amazing.
Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take. Bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when, where, or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes and take a breath and smile. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. make you do. Just not at that awkward, too long, awkward stare, but just, catch somebody's eye for just a minute and just let them know. Amazing. Find somebody else. Amazing. Tell them you will do amazing things. Amazing. Amazing. You will do amazing. We will do amazing things. Amazing. Amazing. We will do amazing things. Oh, I know we will. Amazing. Amazing. We will do amazing. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? Amazing. Amazing. We will do amazing things. Amazing. Amazing. We will do amazing things. And this is my favorite part. I want you to put your hands over your own heart. I am responsible for my own experience. And right now, you can know the truth for yourself. You are not here on accident. It's not too late. It's not too late. Don't give up. We don't have a lot of do's and don'ts in Science of Mind, but this is a big don't. Don't give up. And I want you to sing, amazing, amazing. I will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. I will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. I will do amazing things. You will do amazing things. I love you. God bless you.
Oh, that song does it to me every time. All right. For our benediction, I just want to say that I want to end this service as we began it by saying thank you. And going into this coming week, I am so grateful for each of you, your strength and support, your patience, everything that you are. I am grateful for. We are all grateful for. I'm grateful for this philosophy that has taught me that God is not separate from me, but right here within me. Every step I take with God. That is why there is only one set of footprints, because I carry God everywhere I go. And with that gratitude for all these wonderful things and great speakers and lovely faces and a beautiful world to celebrate and the things we get to do, not that we have to do. On that gratitude, I lift those words up into a law that says yes, automatically and impartially. and there I release them to become evident. And so it is. Amen.